Okay, I'm back, and this is the sushi recipe. Sushi recipe, sushi video, and I got my jicama here. I've cut it into small little strips, and you don't have to be perfect on this. Just cut it as thin as possible, which I've already done. So you get like a moon shape. See how thin that is? The moon shape. And then the best you can, just cut it as thin as you can. So you can put it in between the sushi. And let's check our yummies. Sweet potato. See, there I go again. And there's a orange foam on the top surface, so that means the starch is coming out of the potato. And they're a little bit al dente. And I guess I'll use my fingers because this is really hot. But remember, put your sharp knife right down the middle, take one out. And it's a little bit crunchy. When you stick a knife into it, notice that it crunches when you put it in. So it's not done yet. So let it boil some more. I've cut my bell pepper in half. And I am making it also into matchsticks. And there's another type of sushi, which I changed my mind. I think I'm going to show you another way you can do the sushi roll. So we're going to do wrap sushi, meaning you take plastic, you wrap it into a ball with a filling on the inside, and then we're going to make something called whirlpool sushi. It's a little bit more complicated, but I know you can do it. It's just really easy when you drop food on the floor all the time, which I just did. So we're going to keep on top of the counter. Okay, so our yummies, if you can see, are boiling here. You can smell them too. Another good thing about cooking, when you start to smell the food, that's when it's starting to fish. Okay, I think, yeah, okay, let's turn these off. These are done. And let me get my handy dandy grabbers so I don't burn myself. Okay, so there's the yam. See how easy that goes through now? See the knife? And it's just really easy. So, see if it's starting to break apart. That's good. Okay. So, again, we're going to pour this into a colander. And yet again, don't forget, never pour boiling water down the drain. You're going to ruin your pipes. And I have nothing to pour it into except this. Okay, and this will do. Okay, bowl, pour, colander, strain, voila. Okay, and then you can put that right back on there and just let it sit there. And I got this whole set I got this big huge one, this little one, and a medium one for $9. That's awesome. So we're going to put that in the sink and we're going to put cold water in it. Okay, where were we? Okay, now we're going to need a potato masher. Okay, we got a lot of things going on here, so if you have to back the tape up and rewatch it, that's okay. Let's get a bowl from the huge stack behind me, which I always have. Let's pour that in. And let's make mashed potatoes, mashed yams. Just work it. These smell really good. And if you want to, you can take some of this out and put it in a bowl and freeze it and keep it for dinner with a little brown sugar and butter. Just a little nibble. You get home from work or something and you want something really quick to hold you over while you're making something else. It's always good to think about what you're making, if there's enough of it, to put it or hold it back. It's like if the recipe asks for, let's say the recipe asks for half a yam. I made whole yam. I don't have to use the whole yam in the recipe because think about it, sushi is really small. But the yam, I am what I am. Sorry, I had to say that. But you can cut this in half and put it in another dish, or just have it as just like it is. Okay. Dirty. Oh well, let's not throw it away. Let's not wash it just yet. Okay. Powdered sugar. Okay. Actually, let's do something before we get going. Let's get another bowl out. And let's just do like I said, because this is going to be too much. Out about a spoonful or two. There we go. And then we're going to set this aside and let it cool so we can put it in the refrigerator. That'll be fine right there. And tablespoon of powdered sugar. Okay. 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar. Add that to the sweet potatoes. Get our handy dandy masher. And watch out, it's going to powderize all over the side, all over the place, so just work it in. And our 15 minutes is up, so let's turn this off. Now mind you, our sushi rice that's cooking right here, if there is a brown bottom on it, don't panic. Don't panic. If you lift it up after you take it to cool it down, and it has a kind of a brown, it's perfectly fine. You can either remove it very carefully, or it's not going to hurt anything. It's not going to affect the flavor. Actually, in some parts of from what I've read and not positive on the positive, but I have read areas where they let the rice burn on the bottom until it's brown and it comes off in a big sheet, and it's actually considered like it's a treat for the kids or something. Okay, now we can put that in the sink. And since you got the hot water in the sink, swish it around the hot water, and guess what? It's clean. So you don't have to let it just sit there and dry. Okay, so this sits here for another 10 minutes, and I'm sure my video will run out, but let's concentrate on what we're doing here. Okay, so we got the yam, we got the jicama, we have the red bell pepper. Let's get the other half of the red pepper over here, which we're not going to use. We got the other half of the jicama here, which we're not going to use. Another dish. Okay, now we have the pot, and in the pot goes 8 tablespoons. I know that sounds like a lot, but considering how much rice you have, it'll work out. So 1, 2, 3, and if I didn't say it, 8 tablespoons. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and if you noticed in my last video, I forgot to add all the rice vinegar. I ended up only adding 3 tablespoons to it, but the thing is, okay, if that happens like I did, and you're done, you have it in the bowl and you're mixing it around, you're like, oh, I forgot to add it. Add it in, stir it up, doesn't matter. Okay, I'm getting 4 tablespoons of sugar, and another trick to do, which I didn't do last time, I forgot, heat up the vinegar first. Oh, the special burner. Oh, special burner's not turning on. Okay. Okay, special burner is really special tonight. Okay, so we're not going to use it. Bring this back over here. Bring this over here. Oh. Okay, so we're going to bring that to a boil. And see, that's the thing I don't like. Oh, gosh. It's the thing I do not like about gas. You know, you're never going to hear me say anything good about gas because, I mean, when you're cooking and stirring with spoons, the heat's right. Look at that. It's so hot right there. And then if you leave, you can't just leave a wooden spoon in if you're on high heat. It will burn. And I have a good example of what it does to plastic. I wasn't used to it. See that? See how those two bumps are there? That's not natural. That's when it was melting. It was this high up, sticking from in the pan at an angle, and it started melting over. Now if that does it to that, what does it do to your hands? Okay, so I'm sorry guys, no praise for gas stoves, even though I have to cook on one. Okay, so bring that to a boil, and I think we are going to be right back.